go check out the Audi. All right. Yesterday I went driving around Selangor. Yeah. Morning I head to Eco Sanctuary, and from Eco Sanctuary I went to Janjarom and then to Morib. I don't know which one comes first. Tanjung Sepat, is it? And then Sepang Gold Coast, and then went through some palm oil fields to KLIA. So the palm oil fields are not roads essentially. Those are only used by lorries and all that. I had to raise the suspension of my RS6, raise it, and then crossing that road. It was a bit too adventurous, I would say. And after that, I hear some sound from my brakes. I would be lucky if it is just a squealing sound. Squealing sound means maybe some small sand or little pebbles or stones got stuck in between the brake pads and the discs. But I don't think that's the case, because it only it's not, first of all, it's not a squealing sound, it's not a screeching sound. It's how do I describe that? It doesn't sound like the ABS activating, but it sounds when I did medium heavy sort of braking. You know, the kind of braking that you do when you need to like stop like that, you know, like heavier kind of stop. Yeah. So brought it for a check, and I left it there. It was pretty late when I got back, so I'm gonna go there for a look, and also gonna do an oil change on the RS6. Time flies, you know. I got my car back in March, the Audi, and when the Audi was back, I sent the BMW for the paint job, but unfortunately, because of the lockdown, and the BMW got stuck, and then we faced some technical issues when it comes to the paint, and basically the BMW should be out soon, hopefully. Now that I realize, when you have 3 cars and each car you go for a service in half a year, that also means you have to do it 6 times in a year. And when it is 6 times in a year, that would average out every 2 months servicing a car. It's like okay, I wouldn't want to add more cars to my garage. Not a garage, to my ownership. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah. Not that I have the means for it now. Yeah. And also gonna do the oil change. As you guys know, both cars, all 3 cars now run on the Chemlube oil. Okay. And previously, Chemlube oil wasn't available in the workshop that I go to, Prestige. But the boss is so kind that, given that he knew that's my preference of oil, he opened an account and then took in some stocks. Yeah. So it's not that I'm a super duper loyal fan to just Chemlube, because the thing is, there's a difference between ester based oil and other engine oils, right? Ester based, you can read it up if you are those who like to do more research, right? Ester based oils are known as 100% synthetic oil. 100% synthetic oil is different from fully synthetic oil. Yeah, you hear me right? Right. It's an industry standard. All right.
When I switched to pro mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less. A lot
Turn
less.
up! So, oil that are saying fully synthetic, they cannot claim 100% synthetic. Okay, those are Group 4 oil. Group 4 oil, you know, using PAO, highly synthetic, but they cannot claim 100% synthetic. All right. As for Group 4 base oil, if I were to use them, I'm totally fine using them, because I don't go track days and all that, right? I would use those as well for Group 4 oil. You know, all the major brands, they are Group 4 oil. But I would generally prefer those where the base oil was created from natural gas. All right. Those where their base oil are created from natural gas would also mean their base oil is purer. Alright, so they would actually say that if their base oil is created from natural gas, they would definitely say it's a selling point. Obviously, they would want you to know it, right? When the base oil is made from natural gas. So you will be able to see them. Those are really good as well. Alright, as for ester based oil, there are quite a few brands out there that uses ester, and you can find it out yourself. I think some famous one like Motul, I don't know, Redline, and I mean many brands actually have ester based oil, but they are not the most commonly used, right? Because pure and simple, ester based oil are expensive for manufacturers. Alright, so yeah, anyway, I'll continue the video when I got there. But so far, the Audi, which is only a 1 year older car than the Aston, and both gets similar mileage of usage. In fact, I think I use this car more. Alright, my wife uses that car, but I also uses it, you know, for my drives and all that. So I think that's what I want to say is that there is a difference between a car that is more high-tech and a car that is more low-tech, right? You see, this car is super analog, just a V12 engine, and then a torque tube, and then towards the rear, the transaxle gearbox, and that's it. There are no clever trickery stuff. There are no heads-up display, no soft closed doors, or rear wheel steer and all that. It doesn't have all these. All right, it is a pretty analog car. Just an 8-speed gearbox, a hydraulic steering, you know, and everything else that you would assume cars would have, you know, like alternators and all that. You know, it doesn't have like a stop-start system, all that. None of those. None of those. So this is a very analog car, as opposed to that Audi, which yes is a 4-liter V8. On paper, in our minds, we always think that, oh, a smaller engine by displacement would also means lesser maintenance. But that's not true, because yes, that's a 4-liter V8. Yes, it has 4-cylinder less, 4 sets of spark plugs less, 4 sets of coil packs less. But that car is also twin turbocharged, right? With exhaust pipings going into the turbochargers, and then the turbochargers drawing air and then routing through the intercoolers and then routing it back into the intakes, and sensors to measure the temperature, the pressure, and then oil gets routed into to cooling the turbos. A lot of stuff going on in that car. Alright, and that one has a 4-wheel drive system, has a sports differential, has air suspension, and all kinds of trickeries going under the car. A lot of technology per se. And that one also has cylinder deactivation, which shuts 4-cylinder and basically run half the banks and plugs and all, and injectors and all, and turning the car from a 4-liter V8 to a 2-liter V4, I suppose. Cannot be inline 4. I mean, all sides will be imbalanced. Yeah. So, yeah. So far, this car has, touch wood, this car has been very, very reliable, and I'm happy. Sorry. Come to think of it, when you own an electric car, you don't need to go through any of these. Absolutely none of these when you own an electric car. A Taycan or whatnot, right? It's just a battery and some motors, and that's it. And that's absolutely it. Nothing else. If you drive an electric car. And if you would like an electric car, that's the Taycan. The Taycan is here. Yeah. Daily car, definitely electric is the best. Alright, I'm here. Let's go check out my car, or my wife's car. Ooh, Porsche 992. Oh, 458. Ooh, a lot of cars. Ooh, where do I park? Maybe I can just park here for time being. Maybe. Ooh, that's a Maserati 3200 GT. I like the car. Our friend who sings live every Wednesday with Alex DK, he has one. Oops. This guy's supposed to go in here. Can I park here? I think I can. Alright. Go down for a minute. Mask up. There's my car up there. Doing this a bit too often. Anyway. Okay, let's go. Is this not the busiest workshop? Okay, every time I come here, again, you see 911, 992, G-Wagon, G63, Panamera, autobiography. That's a Sport. I didn't know Sport has a autobiography spec. I thought only the full-size Range Rover has that spec. 7 Series, A7, S5. There's a Bentley new Flying Spur, not new, just previous gen Flying Spur up there. Touareg, Panamera. That's the F10 Range Rover Hellfire. Oh, look at this beautiful Maserati 3200 GT. Oh, the old Maseratis are really nice. I hope it's the boomerang tail lamp. I really hope it's the boomerang tail lamp. I cannot see it yet. I don't want the Accord tail lamp. Ah, that's the boomerang tail lamp. So damn nice. So this car's tail lamp invited a lot of controversy, and unfortunately the management wasn't confident enough to just, you know, stand up to all the criticisms. Then in the facelift they turned it to the Accord tail lamp. I call it the Accord tail lamp, which is like super boring, you know, just one tail lamp here like that. And now everybody wants the boomerang. We call it the boomerang tail lamps. That's very nice. The old Maseratis. Maseratis are like the gentleman version of Ferraris, right? They are the gentleman cars for Ferraris. That's the 7 Series Macan Prelude, and this beautiful SL. Not an SL. Yeah, it is an SL. Yeah, it is an SL. Sorry, no idea with this generation. Look at that. Mercedes of yore. All these are not soft touch plastic but leather. Soft touch plastic is to mimic leather. Alright? So here's my car, and yeah, there was a weird sound coming out from the brakes yesterday when I do a moderately heavy braking, and I hope nothing's gone wrong with these disc brakes, because these are carbon disc brakes, extremely expensive carbon ceramic disc brakes. Alright, yeah, hope everything's well. It was just 2 weeks ago when I came here to fit back the exhausts. These are the rear disc brakes. Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
check 到什么事吗？不懂。
这个哦，还要我要测出来看一看。
哦。
Yeah,
Look at the size of the caliper.
这个声音有点怪。
乖哈，哒哒哒哒，这样子大力的时候。
所以快，你差不多要停的时候就哒哒哒哒。
没有你小力踩它没有，你重到就是
它要差不多停的时候。
对，
有点
快，
但是我要测出来看一看。
好了，是昨天突然间的。Look at the size of that caliper, man. Look at the size of this disc brake, guys. Guys, just look at it. Crazy, right? It's the size of some tires. Madness. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's the air suspension. You can see that. So one of the wonderful things about this car is the highway cruising capabilities. Alright. Super nice. Oh, that's a Gallardo. Gallardo. Lovely. Oh, that's the facelift Gallardo. I like it. There's an R8 over there. Wanna go have a look? Bring you guys around. These cars are for sale. They actually help their customers sell their cars as well, or buy in and resell. Yeah. When the R8 came out, this is, oh, that's the V8 with the V10 side blades. So see, this is the V8, right? And that's the wheels from a V10. And these side blades, right? You see this? This is the original one. So the original side blades just comes down here, where the V10 one bulges out, goes back in. As you can see here, the intakes are not this big, right? So this is a V8 that mods a V10 wider scoop at the side. Nevertheless, even the V8 is a fantastic car. And here's the R8 V10. No lah, it's the Gallardo, which is the sister car of the R8 V10. So for those who don't know, the green Gallardo, this one, and the R8, they are brothers and sisters. Right? They are of the same platform. Yeah. Right. You have some Volvos over there. Jetta. No, it's alright. Let's take a look at this Stingray. Look at that. Look at how the exhaust routes out. Ooh. My god. Look at the exhaust. Let me show you guys. This is some beautiful metal work over here. Hidden door handles. Right. 3-gear automatic. 350 cubic inches. I have no idea what's the conversion. And yeah, man. But look at this era where bumpers were made of metal. So for those of you who didn't really know, plastic was only invented around the 50s and 60s. Oh, I think you can pop open this. That's really nice. Yeah. I think this car should have already gotten classic car status road tax. You know, pop-up headlamps. Chevrolet Motor Division Corvette. That's really nice. Look at the length of the hood. It's such a long car, but it's also a very narrow car. The width of this car is like less than the Beetle over here. And I don't see any way of opening the boot. I don't see any hinges. Let me bring you guys around. See? There are no hinges over here, no opening lines over here, nothing. It's a solid boot, so that means the storage could have been, I'm not sure, I have no knowledge about these cars. Maybe you flip the seats and the storage is over there, but pretty amazing looking. That's very nice. Alright, that's an A7 over there. Huh? 你要放黑油是？
对，我现在放。
那几罐黑油可以拿过来吗？
可以啊，没有问题。
sorry 啊，拿过来先啊。I think the profile of this car is just unique and beautiful. You know, it's not a big car. It's the kind of car whereby you look at the designs from pictures and all that. It looks like a big car, but when you see the car in person, oh, there's enough room at the back for passengers. Even though the car is not big. I mean, the length of this car is almost that of a Fiat Coupe. But I can see there's reasonable leg room at the back. Yeah, interesting. 7 Series. Yeah, the generation with very little love. It's actually the F generation, you know. But there's really very little love for this. The resale values are like crap, but these are excellent cars. Yeah. Wait for him to come back. Look how busy this place is. Look at that. Somehow I fancy the looks of my car on the rack. Yep, just an oil change and wait for him to find where does the sound come from. Alright, there's a sound that came out from the car. And these carbon brakes are super lightweight when compared to metal ones. Extremely lightweight. Alright. Oh, okay. That's it.
这里是你的filter咯。我们还是用回 original 的。
Yep. 换那个里面吧，是吧？
里面然后 O-ring 全部。
Okay. Yeah, that's the original VW Group oil filter. So basically they open it up and change the insides, and then of course you need the O-rings, and you need to lubricate the O-rings before they go in. Yeah. These things are not expensive, so use original. Alright. That's the oil. So I use Chemlube for all of my cars. You can find out about them. Yes, I know the packaging isn't interesting. Yeah, they are from Delaware, USA. Alright, and they sell you in US quarts. As you can see, 1 US quart is 0.946 liters. Alright, so yeah, even though they say 25,000 miles, but I changed them earlier. Alright, so you can actually get Chemlube from Prestige. Of course you can get it from other places as well. And yeah, there's a little indicator here. When you feel it, yeah, very simple packaging. I kind of like their old packaging, the metal, you know, metal ones. So yeah. Alright, 100% synthetic is different from fully synthetic. And I use 10W40. They don't state the viscosity on the bottle, but they have like a yellow cap and a green cap. Yellow cap is 10W30. Green cap is 10W40. Alright? Yeah. Last time I service 你们 set 那个 computer set 多少 km 啊
？Follow 它 Audi 的话，通常是 10K。
10K 啦。
computer 是 10K 的。
不过上次你们 set 应该是5-6千的，我记得。5-6
千。看一看。可以，通常 10K 的。 how it looks. So another word of advice, sometimes when you change your oil and then you immediately let it out and then you're like, hey, why is the color black, right? That doesn't mean the oil is an old one or fake one. Alright, that's not a way to tell the oil's whether it's genuine or not. Alright, because the moment the oil goes in, you run the engine, you drive for a little while, the color will turn. Alright, so yep, that's my oil change. I'm gonna head back after this and let them slowly check the car. Alright, cheers.
God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper